Alright guys, and with Daredevil Volume 1 being reprinted by Brubaker and Lark, I had to do a review of this, and I'm telling you why. Because you always hear about the Frank Millers, the Bendises, even the Chip, but you never really hear much about the Brubaker Daredevil. And I'm telling you right now, that's a shame, and we're going to get into why that is such a shame, and why you should probably pick this one up before it goes out of print again and goes to the prices of insanity. All right, and so as we're looking at this book, this is definitely a continuation of Bendis's run. Now, you don't have to read Bendis's run to read this, but I do highly recommend it, as a lot of the things that happen in Bendis's run kind of have a payoff here. Saying that, if you can't get Bendis's run, it's too much, this isn't the worst part to jump on. It actually tells you kind of how Matt ends up where he is, so it's fine to kind of jump on here. Plus, you get the best arc that starts it. So starting off, you actually have Matt Murdock in prison. And if you're currently reading Daredevil, you might laugh and be like, wait, they did that again? Well, yes, Chip did do a different style of why Matt's in prison, but the reason he is in prison here is actually quite interesting. And again, a kind of a payoff of what happened in Bendis's run. But what really worked here is that the first arc is very much dark, gritty, and a lot of twists and turns, something happening to one of Matt's closest friends, and then leading to Matt having to kind of figure out a way to get out of prison, while also seeing if he thinks he should, if he's worth getting out of prison after what he's done. And then you have Punisher coming in, which is just insanity, because, you know, the Punisher is crazy and he murders people, and that's who he is, and Matt does not kill. So watching these two have to team up is actually quite enjoyable. The art is fantastic through this. Lark just kills it with his art. It's just so dark and gritty, but everything looks so clear at the same time. Like, the fight scenes look perfect in the style that they're going for. I also have to say that Brubaker does the dialogue so good in this book, and the first arc really kind of amplifies that, and it has a great payoff at the end. Then, as we get further into the book, it does remain high quality, though I will say the middle portion of the omnibus for Volume 1 is probably the weakest part for me of the run. It's an international adventure for Mr. Matt Murdock, and this is kind of more of like a, I don't want to say mystery, but it's a little bit of mystery of who is who and why they're doing it. And this arc to me is not bad. It still remains kind of that noir style, which I like, but it's definitely the slowest. Now, the payoff is good at the end of this arc. I know I'm saying payoff a lot. That's weird. I'm sorry I'm saying that, but it is a good, solid arc, but it's just not great. But then, luckily, as the omnibus nears the ending, we get to probably one of my favorite villains that Brubaker kind of redone or refixed. I know this villain, Fear, was in Daredevil before in the comics, but he is so fucked up here. He is so goddamn wicked, is the best word I can think of what he does and how he does it and why he does it. I really enjoyed this guy as a villain. He very much is an asshole. He has a great design, kind of reminds me a little bit of Scarecrow, but a little bit more futuristic. And yeah, I absolutely love this villain, and he gets a couple of Matt Murdock's villains to kind of team up with him, and that's scary to watch. People like the Gladiator, unfortunately, go back on the side of evil and fuck Matt up, because he is a crazy, hulking, scary person. So this ends really well, and it's a great, like, he can't tell what's real and what's not, and you get a little bit more internal thoughts of Matt in this. So I really enjoyed the final few issues of this run. So, saying that, is this worth picking up? The reprint just dropped yesterday, and I have to go with a resounding yes. This is absolutely great stuff. I mean, if you like the gritty, dark Daredevil, which is mostly Daredevil these days, but, you know, if you wanted more of an uplifting and happy one, you could always check out Wade's, which maybe I'll review one day. But if you want more of a dark, gritty, just stylistic, kind of a little bit of mystery here, a little bit of crime stories, you know, things like that, because that's Brubaker, what he does, you're going to love this. Now, it is dark, it is twisted, and it is heavy for some people, and I've heard people criticize this run for that reason alone. So I could see some people thinking this is a little bit too dark, and I've heard people say character assassination, which I disagree with. But anyway, this volume is not the entire run. It's the first volume, and it ends in a freaking, like, you just want to read volume 2. So it's hard not to recommend this and volume 2, but I'm just reviewing one. And as a whole, I think it is very good. I think it's very entertaining. If you like the Bendis or Frank Miller run, this very much feels the same in that vein. And also, you get one of the best arcs in Daredevil ever. That first arc, Devil in the Cell Block, D Block, is absolutely amazing. One of the best arcs I've ever read for Daredevil. So, saying that, what do I give this? A nice big 4 out of 5. It is absolutely one of my favorite Daredevil runs. Very much worth owning. Maybe not as high as I would give Miller or Bendis, but it's very high up there. So go check this out. It's worth the price. I believe it's $100 because this is a little bit smaller omnibus, but you can obviously get that way cheaper if you check out in-stock trades, organic price books, or cheap graphic novels, or even Amazon, or go to your local comic book store. Usually they'll work a deal with you to give you a nice percentage off if you buy through them. So go check this out. Very much worth owning. And if they do a Volume 2 reprint, I will review that too if you guys want to see that. I hope you enjoy and have a great day.